Hey guys, what's going on? Yes, I'm right here in heaven in my car. Sometimes I feel that way when I'm shooting a video out here. There's the sunlight shining in from the thing from the parking lot. And I wanted to do this video, and God, these videos are probably super annoying. There, I'll shoot it right here. Here, that's better. There we go. All right, anyways. So I wanted to do this video basically to talk about pro wrestling. I did check out an ECW pay-per-view. I got to finish it. I was taking notes, so that will be up very, very soon, probably next Thursday or Friday. So there we go. Tradition has started, and I held off on doing a video yesterday. There was a reason for that, because I have 2 movie reviews that may go up as extras, more than likely. That, or if I can hold off and do them on probably Monday, which probably will be what I do. But I did want to do this kind of short thing and talk about wrestling in general thing. And this is what's going to happen, you know. These are the set days that I do what I just talked about. Those are the set days that I do stuff, that I record stuff, and so forth. But if I happen to do an extra one, then you get an extra one. You just get a bonus video for that day. And it's going to happen more than once. I'm going to be completely honest, because on top of getting a schedule set, and that's what you expect. So that's really cool. You guys will know what comes out on certain days, and when I get new people aboard as new subscribers, they will understand that's when those things come out. Now, every once in a while, I will throw videos out on a random day. Like today is Saturday, and today is not a wrestling day. Technically, this is a music day that I would do. Saturday and Sunday would be music days. Thursday and Friday, wrestling. But I didn't upload one yesterday, and I kind of wanted to upload one. So today I kind of want to talk about the Attitude Era. I want to talk about the impact of the Attitude Era and why it didn't last and why it shouldn't be around. A lot of people want the Attitude Era to be around. They want it to come back. And it kind of is in a way, because the Reality Era is what's going on right now. And at first, I didn't really like that name, which I still don't like that name. But technically, that era is basically coming to an end, like soon. So what is people going to call the new era? I have no idea. Okay, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi for some reason. I'm out in the middle of the damn parking lot. How the hell am I connected to Wi-Fi? Anyways, but I did want to talk about this, because some people think that they want the Attitude Era back. And here's the thing to talk about the Attitude Era. Let me be blunt. Let me be simply blunt. I loved a lot of the characters in the Attitude Era. Well, let's be real. Let's be damn real right now. These people, a lot of them weren't great wrestlers. They could tell stories in the ring, but that was it. There were a lot of great traditional wrestlers in the Attitude Era. By that, I mean, they're not going to be out there chain wrestling. They're not going to be out there doing stuff like that. They're not going to be mat wrestling. They're not going to be doing technical stuff, which there was some people. Jericho, I count him as, kind of a technical wrestler. He was there. But those wrestlers had their moments. They had their matches during the Attitude Era that were fantastic. There were some great matches in the Attitude Era. But for the most part, all your big names that you remember probably didn't have any epic matches that you remember from the Attitude Era. A lot of them were at the big events, and they were done for a reason. So, to people to say, I want the Attitude Era to come back. So, what you want is none of the real wrestlers on the roster. You want Darren Young to come back and him to be World Heavyweight Champion, turn him into The Rock, and then you want the Great Khali to come back and be the Intercontinental Champion, and then, who's a Apollo Crews to be a tag team champion with Batista. And the women's champion to be Candice Michelle again. Bring her back, Candice Michelle. Or Trish Stratus comes back and becomes one. Dude, I could go on a rant about Trish Stratus, and people will be very, very angry with me. And I talked about this briefly, and I think some video I talked about wrestling, or I was thinking to myself, I think the other day. But a lot of women in the Attitude Era, people think like Lita and Trish are kind of 2 of the ones, but even Trish, people think that she's like one of the greatest wrestlers from the Attitude Era. That's not saying much. Lita and Trish were it. That was it. Victoria was really good, but they really never gave her a run with anything. She had some great stories, but that was about it. There is nothing there for the women's division. All it was scantily clad women. You don't want that to come back. You don't. Do you want that? You don't know what attitude there it is, man. Don't be these people who don't understand. And some people do, and I don't know why they're saying to come back. It's not coming back. First of all, it's not happening. It's not happening. What we are going to have happen, is, the flippity flop stuff. And I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm glad that WWE is finding a way to kind of merge both of them and still keeping the entertainment aspect, because I think a good blend of both is what the WWE is going to become. And I think it's really, really good. Because I think Stephanie McMahon, she ain't going anywhere. And I think she'll keep Triple H on the leash with the whole, let's bring in all the Ring of Honor guys and make it completely like Ring of Honor, because that ain't going to happen. You don't want that. It would be horrible. It's not. And I know some people want that, but for entertainment aspect, you can't have that. I give no disrespect to Ring of Honor, but for a mainstream audience, that's not going to work. But if you mesh it with certain things, then, without a doubt, you will get a product that people will enjoy and go, wow. Because NXT is the great blend of storyline and wrestling. And there's characters. You just have to develop characters that have something worthwhile to watch. And I think that's what it is. Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is the perfect comparison, I think, to somebody that, if you took him from TNA and you immediately dropped him into the main roster, people would have probably not. I mean, I think he would have got over, honestly, not being in NXT, because people knew who he was. People know who Bobby Roode is. Sometimes WWE doesn't want to think that we know people in TNA, but TNA was pretty popular back in the day, and before they kind of dropped off the earth and people stopped watching them, Bobby Roode was the World Heavyweight Champion. People were following them this time. The thing I think that screwed over TNA is when they started. First of all, AJ Styles letting him leave TNA was the one thing that screwed them over. That was the one thing that broke the camel's back, and I think that locked a lot of fans as soon as they let AJ go, because they knew right then and there that the company was completely stupid and they didn't know what they were doing by letting AJ Styles go. On the other side of that, TNA has, but Bobby Roode is one of those characters that, getting back to the point, Bobby Roode is one of those characters that, he's not the greatest wrestler in the world, but he's a great traditional wrestler that can hang with these guys coming in. And that's what you need. You don't need a guy that can, wrestle the same as these guys. You just need a guy that can keep up and have a good story with these guys coming in. I mean, that's the thing about these wrestlers. If you see half these wrestlers, they're old. They're like almost 40 years old. And they're not going to be around forever. So you got to groom the next era coming in. So a lot of these people like Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, even Kevin Owens, like these four, they could get injured at any time. They could come to the point where they can't wrestle anymore. And they're huge stars right now, and they pushed them really fast to get them up to the main roster. And I think one of the reasons is because they are a little bit older, and they've been around the bush a few times. And they're going to come to a point where they're not going to have a very long career in the WWE, but they're going to have a very, very successful one, because they're going to push and push and push and push them to be major stars, and on the way, get talent over right before they leave. I think that as one goes out, they're going to make another star. And I think there's a lot of great people in the WWE that you don't need the attitude there. What you need is to make the roster sustainable. And I think that was the main problem, with Brock Lesnar leaving and John Cena being really the only, and Randy Orton basically being the only two top, babyface and heels. For the longest time, they were the only people, and Undertaker showing up once in a while. Those are the two mainstays that you had as top performers for the longest time. And then you had people coming back, Triple H, Shawn Michaels every once in a while. But I mean, it was just really lame. And so to get all these people to come in, and finally AJ Styles, and then you got Finn Balor now really not doing nothing. But you got Brock Lesnar come back, which is I've already talked about that. Like, they need to get rid of him. They don't need him anymore. He's just making the machine get clogged up, because they can't logically put Balor in the ring with Lesnar. It ain't going to make no damn sense. You can't do that. So you kind of got to write him off. You got to tell him, say he's going to UFC and get rid of him, and just tell him, thank you for your time, but we ain't got nothing for you. You got to get the belt off you. You got to be able to job the people, and it's not gonna happen. It's not legitimate. I guess that's the word for it. It's not legitimate for him to lose to Finn Balor, because he wouldn't lose to Finn Balor if it was a real match. Dude, Lesnar would kill him in like 10 seconds. He'd F5 him, or he'd freaking German suplex him for real and kill him, and the match would be over. So it's not legitimate. It's not realistic in a reality era for that. So I think that he's got to go. And I think he's did his thing. He's had his place. And I think really he just needs to be a high-profile WrestleMania. I think he just needs to be a WrestleMania guy, to be quite honest. That's what he wants anyway. Just pay him a big paycheck. Come in every year for WrestleMania, kind of like The Undertaker. He'd be that kind of a thing. That time of year rolls around, you wonder who's going to face Brock Lesnar. I mean, you don't really have a guy like that right now. I think Triple H might become that guy. He's kind of becoming that guy where he only wrestles at WrestleMania. And it's kind of a joke because nobody's going to pop for Triple H to wrestle somebody at WrestleMania, because if you say, I'm trying to think of somebody like Baron Corbin says, I want to face somebody at WrestleMania, I don't care who it is, and Triple H comes out, are you really going to pop for that? I mean, that's my thing. But if Baron Corbin says, I want to face somebody at WrestleMania, I don't care who it is, because I'm not even, set up for any championships right now, and it's like 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, or a month away from WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar's music hits, dude, you're going to pop. Like, people are going to freaking be excited to see Lesnar and Corbin. I mean, you probably know the outcome, but it's going to be an interesting match, and I would love to see that match, first of all. Hopefully Corbin goes to Raw before Brock leaves, so they could have a feud. I think Corbin on Raw would do really well, but I think Corbin can work with the faster guys really well. Like I said, those guys are going to be the guys that get over. Because if he can get in the ring with these guys that can make him look tremendous, there you go. You're going to make a star. And I think Baron Corbin is a main eventer. He's just got to calm his attitude down and get cool before they let him go for a stupid reason. But yeah, WWE Attitude Era, not happening. But what I will say is, the Attitude Era had so many great moments, and then it ended kind of with a dud. Nothing really happened. There wasn't something that ended that really kind of set it off. I don't think Mr. McMahon's death would be called part of it. I don't know. That was stupid anyway. I wasn't even watching WWE at the time when that happened. I didn't even get to see the end of the Attitude Era, I don't think, technically. So, anyways, so yeah, ECW. I kind of want to watch ECW because I haven't really watched any of that stuff. And I didn't even see this One Night Stand that I'm watching. It's One Night Stand from 2006 that I'm watching right now. I got halfway through it. Pretty cool pay-per-view. I'm marking out through the whole entire thing, man. It was great watching it. If you haven't checked out, if you like the WWE Network and you're a wrestling fan, or even if you like past wrestling, dude, there is so much stuff on there. And even for past wrestling fans, there's stuff on there like collections and stuff like that come out. And the round was Table for Three. It's really an interesting show. They get 3 wrestlers, usually 1 current one and 2 of the old people, or sometimes 2 and an old one to be on there. I know they had Nash, or they had Hall, and who they have? They had AJ. They had somebody. They had Shawn Michaels and some. They had Bruno. I know they had Bruno Sammartino with 2 people. I can't remember who the hell he's with. But it might have been Shawn. And it might have been Nash. I can't remember. It was somebody, but it was a really good thing. And I know Shawn Michaels, AJ, and Scott Hall were another one, and that was a really good one. So if you like old wrestling, it's really kind of neat to see that show because they talk about stuff about the past and what they went through and what they think about, the current roster. And so they always talk about stuff like that. And it's really cool. And also, what's that one show with JBL and Corey Graves? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Bring It to the Table. There we go. Bring It to the Table. Awesome show, man. It's kind of cool. I kind of wish they would take it from a fan's perspective because they were doing that for a while, and now it seems like they're kind of going slowly, just kind of tinkering away and just making it like a regular news show. But they're kind of bringing up topics that the fans want to know about, like Why is AJ not taking on Shawn Michaels? Why did that match not happen? Why didn't Shawn accept? Things like they talked about that, like I think a long time ago, one of the older episodes, because it was rumored to happen at I think the Royal Rumble or something one year. I can't remember what year. It might have been WrestleMania last year. There's a rumor about that. But anyway, I don't have anything else to say. 15-minute video, that's pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video, subscribe, all that stuff if you're not already. And keep rocking and keep on watching wrestling. Oh, yeah.